Please welcome to the stage John O'Callahan of Atlanta Neighborhood Development Partnership.
Martin Morial, wow. Tonight, it's my honor to present NHC's Housing Visionary Award to a purpose-driven leader and accomplished executive with deep expertise in housing affordability and community development, Renee Lewis Glover. I first met Renee as a young staffer for Atlanta Mayor Maynard H. Jackson, a houser. I was immediately struck by her kindness, her intelligence, and extraordinary empathy. Quickly saw her deep commitment to service, creative thinking, talent for building consensus, and ability to drive transitional change. Mayor Jackson soon appointed her to an open board seat with the Atlanta Housing Authority. He was so proud of her leadership as board member, board chair, and later as its innovative CEO, focused not only on delivering affordable housing, which she did, but also expanding economic, educational, and health opportunities for families and communities. With decades of influential leadership in public housing reform, Renee is internationally recognized for transforming the public housing model into a visionary framework that integrates economic development and inclusive community building. As CEO of the Housing Authority for 19 years, she led the agency from near receivership to national acclaim. Renee pioneered the use of Hope 6 federal funds to replace deteriorating public housing with vibrant, master-planned, mixed-income communities. Her work is considered by most the most incredibly comprehensive public housing transformation in the country, setting a benchmark for urban redevelopment. Partnering with private developers and public agencies, her initiatives generated roughly $3 billion in economic impact and improved the lives of over 50,000 Atlanta residents. These communities blended residential, commercial, green spaces, and linked redevelopment to opportunity, dignity, and cohesion. Renee's reforms went well beyond just construction. She led regulatory overhauls, modernized business operations, and repositioned AHA, as we call it, as a model for innovation and urban governance. Her leadership balanced visionary thinking and operational vigor, building an agency that was both resilient and results-driven. Today, she continues to lend her amazing strategic insight as founding and managing member of the Catalyst Group, a national consulting firm focused on urban revitalization, real estate development, and community building. Renee's current and prior board service includes groups here tonight: Enterprise Community Partners, Fannie Mae, Habitat for Humanity International, the Federal Reserve Bank of Atlanta, and the Bipartisan Housing Center, and others. Inclusive housing remains at the heart of Renee's legacy, empowering families and strengthening communities.
Well, it's an interesting story how I got involved with community development. Perhaps I was destined to be. Mayor Maynard Jackson had just been elected for his third term, and he asked me to serve on the Housing Authority, and I got quiet because the housing authority was in total distress. It was constantly in the newspaper, not the good things.
A woman who started her career as a lawyer in corporate finance has directed a transformation affecting tens of thousands of Atlanta's poorest. Many of them lived in dangerous public housing projects. Today, many of the worst of those projects have been replaced by developments that were once unimaginable.
It's almost impossible for someone not on the inside to understand just how bad a shape the Atlanta Housing Authority was in when Renee took the helm. Just about anybody who knew the authority knew it as a pariah. Renee went in, and not only were we trying to do something truly transformational from a development and community development perspective, but she was also trying to fix an agency that was one step away from being in receivership.
Tom Cousins and I went to the mayor of Atlanta to encourage him to put Renee in charge of AHA. And what I was told at the time was that it was about to be taken over. It was dysfunctional, wasn't effective. And she and Egbert Perry got together over a period of years using public-private partnerships where effectively 10% government money, the rest private sector money. And they transformed neighborhoods with affordable housing components mixed with market rate housing. It was a role model that many people throughout the country picked up on and adopted.
The real reason that I took the job is that I saw the opportunity with a program that nobody knew much about. It was called Hope 6. And Hope 6 grew out of a finding by a Congressional Commission on Distressed Public Housing that simply said public housing had failed its mission. It wasn't about how do we fix this as public housing. Again, it had to be reimagined.
Before the demolition, Glover says public housing had gotten away from its early principles. She says decades of policy changes had made public housing far worse than it was in its early days in the 1930s and 40s. She says that had to be reversed.
Very few people are gracious enough, authentic enough, and honest enough to acknowledge that they're standing on other people's shoulders. Yeah, Renee's standing on some shoulders, but the work that she did was so transformational that it has legs today, that so many parts of the city that are considered livable, developable today are really only that because of the work that Renee Glover did.
It can't just be about the housing. It has to be community building, because mixed finance is not mixed income. Regardless of what industry or what problem or whatever, I've done a whole lot of different things. I'm always thinking about what's the impact on the people's lives we're touching.
Renee, congratulations to this award from the National Housing Conference. I can't think of anyone more deserving. We really appreciate somebody who had a couple of law degrees and could have made a great living in the private sector. Dedicating your life to helping other people is very selfless and very rarely repeated. Thank you and congratulations.
Renee, you deserve any and every recognition you can get for the heroic work you've done, the tremendous transformational work you've undertaken. And so I just want to say congratulations. Thank you. Glad that you're my friend and glad to have known you for as long as I have.
Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming Renee Lewis Glover, this year's recipient of the Housing Visionary Award.
Well, thank you, thank you, thank you. I just want to say that my heart is full because it's very wonderful to be celebrated by your peers for work that you love. And it feels like a big hug. And so I'm hugging you back and sending you love. And I just want to thank David Dworkin and the Board of Directors and the Board of Governors for this special honor. And just want to say, you know, Housers are very special people. You know, we're wired differently, and that's the good thing. I want to also give my heartfelt congratulations to Mark Morial and Senator, former Secretary Mel Martinez, each of whom is a legend in and of their own. And they are both very spectacular human beings, so congratulations. I also want to give my congratulations to HUD Secretary Scott Turner. I wish him every success as he takes on this especially important assignment and a sacred mission, because as Dorothy from The Wizard of Oz would say, there is no place like home. So what I wanted to do was just share a few lessons learned, because I think it's really important to think about this important issue. It all starts with the people that we're serving. And so I want to say to you, from how I think about it, each human being has been designed by God exquisitely and intentionally with unlimited human potential. And as a society, we must never abandon the belief in universal humanity and the unlimited potential of all human beings. That being said, it is our job as Housers to create healthy, master plan, mixed-use, mixed-income communities of opportunities where each and every human being can thrive. As Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. said so prophetically, we must learn to live together as brothers and sisters, or perish together as fools. So, as you think about how we do this work, I think it is critically important that the public and private communities come together and form high-performing public-private partnerships. The biggest producers of housing are the private sector. The public sector can help with the resources and what have you, but if the two can come together and strategically invest the public and private funds, great communities can be developed. And great communities must be holistically planned and offer great quality of life amenities, great schools, great parks, the types of things that make communities communities. And we must never forget that environment matters. All of the independent research has proven and shown that as a society, we must end the practice of concentrating families in poverty. It just doesn't work. So I'll leave you with these thoughts because I think deep in my heart, maybe I aspire to be a poet. I'm not very good. But when I think about home, home is where the heart is and where hope is born. Home is where we live, we love, we dream, we learn, we teach, we heal, we revive and grow. Housing is at the center of all that we do. And if we do it right, our best years are ahead of us. So thank you again, and God bless America. And let's go out and do some fabulous things together. Thank you.